Show for Monday, March 25, the 85th day of 2024. There are 281 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. And that's it. The first weekend of the tournament is in the books. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Are you over there with a big smile on your face because you're up near the upper echelons of the bracket pool among the
I'm
office?
not as high as I want to be.
The ladies are leading the way. Christina's in first place. You're in second place. Whitney is in third place. 1, 2, 3, 45 points, 43 points, 42 points. You ladies had an outstanding first weekend of the tournament.
Yes.
And you're hoping to keep it that way?
Yes.
Or maybe improve your position?
Yes.
You still have Houston, right? You still have...
That's what I have left.
And
yes.
you have, didn't you take UConn? Is UConn in your Final Four? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're still doing okay in that regard. Mine's not. I'm just trying to stay ahead of Chase and Dennis at this point.
Yes.
Trying to stay out of last place is really what I'm trying to do.
Baylor, so that knocked me out pretty hard.
He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. I hadn't checked the standings since, I guess, when Western lost on Friday. I got a little fed up, so I had to take a break. So I haven't checked since then.
Your sadness set in?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was sadness. It was more like, well, this kind of stinks. And I still had the games on, and I still watched, but I was like, I'm done following the brackets now. But I'm not in bad shape.
No, you're a middle of the packer.
Yeah.
In fact, you're representing the gender very well. I mean, you got the ladies ahead of you, but we men, we're relying upon you to try.
Well, Ken and I are tied at least.
Work your, but your name is listed above his name so for some reason they give you the advantage.
For clear reasons. I mean, I'm always above.
I'm saying there you are. Just above you are the ladies. So I'm saying you got to represent us well.
And then way down there at the bottom is UConn.
And we don't mean the University of Connecticut. We mean UConn Cornelius,
Yes.
dead last.
We're going to have to start, yeah.
But I know how that feels because I spent the first half of the weekend in dead last place. It was a lonely place too.
You and Chase are the ones that have no maximum points available. No,
without a doubt. And then Chase even flamed out even worse when Baylor, because Baylor was his national champion.
Yes.
But you got other things that
yes,
can
I
give
do
you
have
points.
other things.
He does not have.
I understand that.
He does not
in
have.
his defense, at least his national champion made it to the second game.
That's true. Yeah, they played on a date that was that ended in Sunday or Saturday. So, oh my goodness. Who did that?
What just happened?
I have it on good authority. There's a celebration in order for today. Young Mr. Gormley is one day less young.
Yeah, I feel it.
Did your bones creak when you got up this morning?
They've been doing that since I was about 18, so yes.
He said you woke up with old Uncle Arthur, Uncle Arthuritis.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Well, you have big celebration planned for today since your birthday falls on a Monday?
I'm going to sit on the couch, and I think Iowa women's basketball plays tonight. Maybe I'll watch them. Caitlin Clark, she's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, she's something. She's Oh, wait a minute. Stevie didn't want to be left out. I'm sorry.
We've had nailed this twice in a week on the show.
Stevie couldn't see that he was interrupting, so just let him know. It's a true story. So you're going to sit on the couch and watch Caitlin Clark. Are you?
I guess I hadn't really
I'm
thought
gonna
that
have
far
to see
ahead
what she
yet.
looks like.
Do you have a
Oh.
crush on Caitlin Clark?
No, she's just really, really good at basketball.
That's true. She is very good.
Yeah.
She is
No,
good
I
at
have no
basketball.
feeling. If anything, I mean, her choice in NFL teams is quite poor. So
I see.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, yeah.
But still, no, she's just really, really good.
She's also very good at complaining. So there's, but I don't.
Thanks, Cameron, too. I see him commenting. Thank you.
Neither here nor there. Happy birthday to you, Sam. I'm
Thank
not
you.
sharing your age. You can share your age if you'd like to, but I'll just say
I won't because
you-
it's the same year that someone graduated from high school, and I don't want to do that today.
Well, I will say your once in a lifetime opportunity to where you have your age and the day of the month you were born has passed you by.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I guess. So,
Yeah. So I mean, it's what I'm saying. You know,
see, it's
so
like my little brother is always really easy. That when people think like, how old is he? He was born in 2000, so it's always really easy for me to figure it out.
yeah.
Be like, oh, he's 24. Like that's easy.
Well, celebrate big today,
Thank
Sam, with whatever you choose to do, but don't get arrested. Okay, just keep it legal.
Well, I mean, heck, my celebration. I'm sure you're going to get to this. Could be that Kentucky's going to get a new basketball coach. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that could happen. We'll talk about that in a minute. Windy and warmer today. We'll see some rain chances returning overnight tonight. We have a wind advisory in effect from 7 p.m. till about, I think, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. tomorrow. So just be prepared for that. Actually, it goes throughout the day tomorrow. So it starts tonight at 7 o'clock and then goes through 5 tomorrow afternoon. My apologies. I glanced at 5 and assumed 5 tomorrow morning. It's actually 5 tomorrow afternoon. We'll see cloudy, windy, and some rain late today. High of 72. Rain advisory, rain and a wind advisory for tonight. Low of 54. Morning rain, afternoon storms tomorrow. Windy and a high of 70. So just be prepared for that for your coming days. Is that an old forecast, Sam?
It is. I don't know why
Yes.
I don't know
That's
why.
weird.
It did
Well,
not
notice that like the day started with Friday. I was like, wait a minute. So
I don't know why.
that's
it didn't
okay.
update.
Easter is still in there, so I didn't glance ahead to Easter yet, but we'll keep an eye on it as we get closer to the weekend. The United States Senate, passed a funding package in an early morning vote on Saturday. That is a $1.2 trillion package, and the vote was 74 to 24. It was a stopgap to try and prevent some portions of federal government from shutting down, but as you might imagine, some people aren't happy about everything they got baked into the cake. And in sign of frustration, MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, initiated an effort to oust Mike Johnson as the House Speaker already. And the way the rules of the House are, one person can bring that up, and it's kind of ridiculous that they're going to go through that again, but more grandstanding, so that you'll continue to hear more about that. Some regional headlines that caught my eye this morning. A man drowned over the weekend while swimming after his boat in Barren River. Just kind of a reminder for boating safety as we get closer, further into the season. The Bowling Green Police Department Public Affairs Officer Ronnie Ward said a 59-year-old man drowned as he was loading his boat into Barren River. The boat got away from the man when he entered into the water to retrieve the boat, resulting in the unidentified man drowning. He was pulled from the water by witnesses. So just a reminder, be extremely careful, and accidents like that can happen. A man from White Mills has been arrested after allegedly stabbing a man multiple times. The Hardin County Sheriff's Office arrested 20-year-old George Aubrey Jr. and charged him with first-degree assault. Aubrey stabbed a 32-year-old man twice in the chest Friday morning at a residence in the 6,000 block of Hardensburg Road. That's about 6 miles west of Cecilia. The victim was airlifted to U of L Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A missing persons case became a murder investigation following the discovery of a burned, fatally shot male in an Allen County backyard. State police troopers said Allen County Sheriff's Office on Wednesday night responded to 140 McDonald Road in Adolphus, about 9 miles south of Scottsville, after the mother of the missing man, 31-year-old Johnny Crawford, originally from Bethpage, Tennessee, found a boot belonging to him near a fire pit in the backyard of the home. The residence was the last place Crawford's mother knew he resided. She had not heard from him since March 14th. When law enforcement arrived at the scene, they discovered Crawford's body in the burn pit. He had been shot twice. On Thursday afternoon, police arrested 68-year-old Glenn Snook after finding him in his home. According to people in the area, Snook had previously threatened to kill Crawford. That's according to some media reports. So an arrest made in that missing persons case. All right, something that may be impacting you, your children, people that you know. The new KCTCS president, Ryan Quarles, is forming a task force to address the FAFSA delays. Colleges and universities across the country are dealing with an unprecedented delay in students' ability to apply for federal financial aid due to the largest overhaul in decades to simplify the free application for federal student aid. The 16 colleges of the system are no exception. And Ryan Quarles said the impact of these delays on lower income students is causing concern. So KCTCS will rely on its own experts at each of the colleges to come together and develop a quick and significant response. So he said the task force will do several things, including develop and implement a communication plan for students, provide estimated financial aid notifications for new and returning students, monitor the impact of FAFSA simplification, and anticipate short-term and long-term implications of aid notification and award delays, and provide solutions. So that sounds like they are efforting to.
I am seeing a lot in my feed about
Work the
a lot of FAFSA moms
Yeah.
asking, hey, have you all received, so-and-so's back yet? Or, I mean, I don't know if it's my peer group or what, but I'm seeing it a lot, the delays.
Kind of has people hamstrung because they're not sure what plans
Yes.
they can make. And
Right.
so I guess what I'm hearing is there are cases where there's dramatic change in financial aid, but typically year over year, there's not a huge difference unless there was some big event that you can kind of identify and say, oh, this is likely to move the needle in some way. But without a definitive, people feel ill-equipped to make the
Yes.
proper decision. So it sounds like they're trying to work the problem and come up with some solutions. And it's not just a problem for students, but it's a problem for faculty and administration and financially and everything involved across the board. Kentucky legislation shielding doctors and other health providers from criminal liability was written broadly enough to apply to in vitro fertilization services. That's according to a Republican lawmaker said on Friday as the bill won passage. It's going over to the governor's office now. It would accomplish what other bills sought to do to safeguard access to IVF services. State Senator Whitney Westerfield said in an interview on Friday, the other bills have made no progress in Kentucky's GOP supermajority legislature with only a few days left in this year's session. Westerfield said during the 37-0 Senate roll call that the bill's definition of healthcare providers was broad enough to apply to IVF services. So what happened in Alabama, of course, has gotten everyone's attention across the country and trying to make sure that IVF services are protected. Whitney Westerfield speculated that Kentucky's courts would not choose to do what Alabama's courts had done, but this legislation was trying to make sure that that was the case. I find it interesting, this legislative session, Whitney Westerfield has been extremely vocal. It's his last session in the state Senate. He's opted not to run again for the state Senate. But when you're in that position, you can do some things that maybe you would like to do all along, or be vocal on things, or can be the tip of the spear on some things because you don't have to fear retaliation or, other things. You kind of have some freedom when you're in a quote unquote lame duck session to be able to get things done. So he's been pretty active on his way out. Presume this is his last session. Can't imagine why there would be a special session called before the end of the year, but stranger things have happened. Kentucky's legislature wrapped up work Friday on a bill meant to lay the foundation for nuclear energy in a state where coal has been king for generations. The House gave 92-0 final passage to send the measure to Governor Beshear. It's already passed the Senate 34-0, and that was last month. While extolling the untapped potential for nuclear power, leading supporters of the bill were careful to stress that the intent is to have nuclear energy complement, not supplant, coal as an energy source. So preparing us for the future when eventually fossil fuels or coals. Either our supplies are diminished or there are other options to make us energy independent and energy competitive on the world stage. So we've gone March Madness. We've gone to March Sadness. Ooh, I had sadness on Friday morning after the basketball game on Thursday night, and lots of calls for various things when it comes to UK, but no news. So it seems like for now things are staying the same. Sam, would you?
Well, I know it sounds like today is a big day because, and you might know different than I. Obviously, what is scheduled today at 5 Central?
Oh yeah, the John Calipari call-in show.
Yes, that you can hear on K105.
That he frequently doesn't show up for.
And that's a big question.
Right. Yeah.
But because you better believe that, I mean, I don't usually listen to that. It's one of those things that, you know, if it's on in the car when I'm driving around, I'll obviously listen to it, but I don't necessarily sometimes go out of my way to listen to it because, as you know, when he is on, it's usually filibuster and so on. It's like playing Mad Libs. You can usually write in what he's going to say kind of thing. But tonight,
Right.
I probably will listen and see if he's there, because if he's on, then I think that tells something. And if he's not on, I think that tells something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
So K105 is the place to be today at 5 Central.
you know, historically on Mondays, whether it's football or basketball, the coaches sit down, they give a Monday media opportunity, and he frequently doesn't show up for that either. He sends Bruiser or Chin or somebody else. So sometimes the things you're waiting for in the evening come out around noon because they come out in that press conference. But in this case, whether he shows up or not, you know, over the, I had, you know, other people that said, well, you know, can't afford to buy him out. Well, that's not necessarily true. The buyout math is different than just writing him a check and saying, see you later. You know, is there a clawback if he gets a job somewhere else? The other parts of that lifetime contract where he would have a job with the university even after he was coaching basketball in an ambassador position, can we just go ahead and give that to him and then, you know, move on in that regard? You still pay him and get the value of that. How much is due up front? You know, probably not a lot. It's probably spread over a long period of time.
is.
So when you start to do that math, then it doesn't look undoable. But I think most importantly, for me and some of my ire on Friday was that I believe he appears to be completely out of touch, and he's so insulated with people around him that won't tell him the truth, or he won't listen to the truth being told, that he just continues to do the same old things over and over again, and then is not willing to accept any blame for it. So we'll see.
Okay,
what happens?
real quick, how did we get to this lifetime contract?
Good question.
It's
See?
not really I mean, it is, but it isn't. So pretty much, yeah, what it has is in there is the clause that once he's done coaching, he works for the school as an ambassador.
Yeah. At the time it was given, it seemed like a good idea.
Why?
Because there was a chance he was leaving for UCLA.
Okay.
And he had Barnhart in a position where if Barnhart had let him go at that point, because that was right after the time that this is the last game that you went to in 2017
Okay.
in Memphis.
Okay.
And so if you
Okay.
imagine if you can take us back to that
Yeah.
time, you went, oh yeah, you got to hang on to Cal.
That makes
But
sense.
if you had been
Okay.
able to look ahead and go, yeah, you wouldn't.
Okay.
If you
Got
knew
it.
then what you know
That
now, you
answers.
wouldn't have
Okay.
done. You wouldn't have done that. So anyway, like Sam said, we should learn a little bit more later today, or we may learn nothing, but we'll at least have probably more information.
It is disappointing, though, that only one double-digit seed makes the Sweet 16, and that happens
Wolfpack.
to be from, yes, I know, I got to throw up his 75 comments here. Yes, Roger, we understand. But it's from Kentucky's region, and that just hurts a little bit more.
The bracket's very, very chalky at this point, but Western, got out to a lead at halftime, but just couldn't hold on Friday. So that added to the sadness. But man, what a game last night! A&M and Houston. Shoo, that shot at the end with.
Did you stay up and
1.6.
watch it all?
Yeah, I stayed up and watched. I didn't watch the last game. I watched the.
Oh,
the
you see,
Yale
I
game
didn't.
was-
When I
that
saw
was
the
gonna be
when I
over.
saw the Yale game was a 30-point game, I was done.
Yeah, but I mean, I was getting ready. It's like, okay, you might want to try and get some rest, and then they extended that to overtime. I thought, whoa! I mean, that shot was what a brilliant out of bounds play. I wish we had some of those. It would look pretty sharp.
Well, I think it was more
Right?
desperation. Like, I have to do something. Let me just throw it, and he got it and threw it up, and
Yeah, but
and then
the way they lined that, the way that Buzz drew that up, though, where they were in an arc, so your guy taking the ball out at least has multiple lanes that he can pass the ball. He went to his third option, and his third option nailed it, and it was exciting.
Well, then the game on Saturday night, too, Creighton and Oregon, that was a really, really good game, too. That one didn't end until about midnight, though, so that was a late game, but it was worth staying up and watching.
Creighton's hanging in there for you, aren't they?
Yep, and see, the downside is that me and Ken Howlett have the same exact Final Four, which, as I told him, made me regret every decision I made.
You're going to split the prize money, I guess, if you win. It'll be a tie.
Me and him had an internal KHSA Sweet 16 competition that I won, so I feel like that gives me then the bump of having the tiebreaker.
I see. Okay. Well, good luck to you. And Lyon County, Mr. Basketball, Travis Perry, and Lyon County win the Sweet 16. They downed Harlan County. Boy, that was a win-win for the KHSAA. Two rural teams, one East Kentucky, one West Kentucky. No big cities involved. It was an exciting weekend in Lexington. Congrats to Lyon County. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home Legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. A walk around town will make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 3rd.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Kentucky farmers can grow anything, but we are especially good at growing young leaders. I know firsthand the values like hard work, perseverance, care, and patience and determination are forged on farms and fortified in FFA and 4-H. This is Jonathan Schell, your Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture, and I encourage you to make the $10 Ag Tag donation when you purchase or renew your farm license plate. Funds are distributed equally between Kentucky FFA, Kentucky 4-H, and the Kentucky Proud program. Half from 4-H and FFA comes back to your local community. We all need good help on the farm. Investing in the blue FFA jackets and the green 4-H clovers is the greatest way to ensure that we raise talented young agriculture leaders and grow farms for them to come home to. Together, we can elevate all of Kentucky agriculture. Make the $10 donation and know that your support is making a difference.
A dating app purports to be able to detect a sexually transmitted infection by scanning a photo of a man's genitals. Bill Hewlett has details.
Calmara uses artificial intelligence to scan a photo which a consenting sex partner would take, and then the app would conclude whether the man is in the clear for safe sex. He Health, the company behind Calmara, says the app is HIPAA compliant, but does not specify where the photos are stored, for how long, and whether they're vulnerable to hackers. Medical experts say this is a bad idea because blood and urine samples are required in order to detect an infection.
And 3 men are under arrest in connection with the theft of nearly $7 million worth of Bitcoin. This happened in California. The Los Angeles Police Department says the men ran a cryptocurrency mining operation at an undisclosed location that consisted of more than 600 computers. $6.9 million worth of Bitcoin was recovered during the investigative operation, which led to the arrests. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield, NBC.
Today is International Waffle Day. I just like the little holes that the syrup can get in. It's a nice part. You know, on pancakes, it just kind of runs right off.
Yeah.
Waffles got little syrup reservoirs. It's Pecan Day, and it's Lobster Newburg Day. I've never had Lobster Newburg.
I don't even know what that is.
I haven't either.
Lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, eggs, and cayenne pepper. An elegant and classic dish enjoyed by many since the late 1800s. Guess I'm a little surprised. I've never really run into it.
Looks
but
like they
I'm not
put it over a biscuit.
over a biscuit. Well, now I'm even more intrigued.
Or rather, it looks like they hollow out the biscuit and put it inside like a bread bowl, but it looks more like a biscuit. Interesting.
I don't know if you can hear it, Sam, but Gertie's digging a hole to China. So.
No, I can't. I did the other day. I wish.
Oh, you've got to throw the camera, Sam. Can you?
All right. You can't see it.
We need.
Well,
can we add Gertie Cam?
We've actually been talking about.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Gertie Cam.
She's out of her collar again.
Okay. So
Okay, all right.
Because I think if we're being honest, us just live streaming Gertie the entirety of the show, people would probably enjoy more than seeing our faces.
I thought it would be a great gag, like when a joke falls flat. It's like cut to Gertie and her lack of expression.
Because a lot of times she just lays there.
I enjoyed her on Friday. She was very active on Friday.
She has proven to be this weekend. She has proven she's a terrier. Let's just put it that way. Anything terra firma, she wants to be digging in it. Here are some things that are turning 50 in the year 2024. Yes,
not me.
Several people that you know, including one of my sisters.
Not it.
Rubik's Cube, Meow Mix, the movie Blazing Saddles, one of my favorites. If you could just, sit around on a Saturday afternoon and watch Blazing Saddles followed by The Jerk, that would be like a wonderful Saturday afternoon. UPC barcodes are 50 years old. The rock band Kiss.
Wow.
Skittles.
Should have worn my Kiss shirt today.
Bailey's Irish Cream. The TV shows Happy Days and The $6 Million Man. The store Foot Locker. Post-it notes. Leonardo DiCaprio, Ryan Seacrest, Christian Bale, Hilary Swank, and Kate Moss. And Dungeons and Dragons.
Interesting.
All turning 50 years of age in 2024.
Were you watching Sanford and Son yesterday?
It showed it recommended on Fire,
okay.
and I was like, it's the one where they go to Hawaii.
Okay, all right.
I didn't. I watched about 45 seconds of it and then went on to something else.
I just hear that now every Friday. Every Friday basketball or football game, I just hear this because isn't Sanford and Son your promo on Fridays?
It's been, but I haven't used it in about 6 months or so.
Oh well, it was one that I remember that it would always be my cue. No, it's about the time to come back.
Thanks for paying attention. Europeans don't like Americans. Well, they think we're weird, and guess what? The feeling is mutual. But here are things that Europeans can't get over. These things that Americans accept as normal.
This is where I wish my grandfather was still alive. I ask him his opinion, even though he'd been an American for so long.
Well, sure, but he would have a very good opinion because he would be able to see both sides of the coin. Number one, we drive too far for everything. Well, we have plenty of geography. You do not, Europe. I mean, they're very hamlets and towns, and they're very cycling oriented, and things
Train.
are relatively nearby. That's right. They got the train. They got public transportation. I understand that, but when you live in a country as big as ours, and we sort of created the automotive revolution on being able to get out and the freedom to go. But now there are people in certain portions of our country that drive across town, but it takes them an hour and a half to do it. But an hour and a half from here, can be in Nashville, or you could be several different places. Europeans say that we put too much ice in our drinks. No, we don't. There's never enough ice in your drink.
I don't know.
I don't like a lot of ice in my drink because then your drink runs out faster.
I would offer that to be true if you have purchased your drink from a
fast food restaurant.
From a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than when you go to the fast food restaurant and you get it, and like there's one that's really bad about it in town that I think it's an automatic one, and it's like the entire cup is filled with ice, so you really don't get any drink.
But do you think that place, and I would offer there are maybe two places that come to mind that you may be suggesting.
One has been advertising a lot during March Madness, the one I'm talking about.
Do you think that they have gotten the idea that people are coming for the ice?
No.
No? Okay.
I can't imagine this place has... I mean, they're known for their bacon, but...
Drug advertisements aimed directly at consumers.
How else do you want to aim them?
I think I think maybe the restrictions on pharmaceutical advertising in Europe are different, where it's just handled and by the way,
physician level.
It used to be that way. It used to be that way here too. You used to didn't
true.
ever see that, but now it's everywhere. Hey, ask your doctor for this. Can I get some of that? There's a shocking lack of privacy in American public bathrooms.
In what are they talking about? Like when we have the at the game sometime, where we have the trough? Is that what they're talking about?
I hope all the troughs are gone. Is what my hope is. I have a
run into it every once in a while.
That we're a trough-free society from here forward.
Disgusting.
But
And you've never had to use one, so.
No.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, because you make weird eye contact when you're standing across from one another. Yeah.
Let's see, there's straight up enough room for an adult to crawl. Oh, so the stalls in Europe apparently go all the way to the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, but that prevents passing. What if somebody's out of toilet
That's
paper
right.
in the next
you
stall,
can't
right?
you can't be neighborly
Right.
that way.
Yeah, no, I don't ask me to hand you toilet paper.
Are you serious, Sam?
I don't want.
You would let somebody sit in the next stall?
I don't
and
know
not
what I would
hand them
do.
Toilet paper?
I don't even know what I would do.
Sam, you would let somebody sit?
Well, I just
because
I don't know where your hands
you
been.
Frequent, you're more likely to be doing something else. You wouldn't. Oh my
It's
goodness!
it's a different here I sit all brokenhearted.
No, I can't spare square.
Oh my goodness, Sam!
Sam breaking hearts everywhere he goes.
Listen, Chris, you've clearly never been in a men's public restroom. You're trying to get in and out as quick as potentially possible.
Okay, I understand that, but what if you went in there for a number two
well,
reason,
obviously
and you were out of toilet paper,
Well, that-
and
that
you
would-
asked a person like you that is clearly they can spare a square. Would you sit there with your butt like that?
I don't know.
I mean, seriously.
I'd probably have to waddle myself to the next open stall.
Now that okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Happy birthday, Sam.
The Europeans say he's entitled to feel that way.
Yes,
It's his birthday.
right? It's his birthday.
And what's with all the air conditioning?
This is one that I don't understand. Like, have you been here in the middle of August?
That's true.
Well, and that, I mean, what about them a deodorant?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that maybe.
What's with all the pit hair?
Right,
That's what I would
exactly.
say.
So there you go.
Really, you can follow the development of the Southwest United States to the rollout and proliferation of air conditioning. People didn't live in Arizona and New Mexico when air conditioning wasn't a thing, but once it became a thing, we spread out in our country and said, hey, we can survive the climate here. And then it says our love of small talk is totally cringe. The first time I went to London, I asked a Starbucks barista how her day was going, and she looked like I had a third arm coming out of my neck. So Americans learned the hard way that other popular topics addressed in the thread, including medical debt, school shootings, tipping, and less, garbage disposals, and sinks, the Brits don't care anything about. We don't make small talk.
Okay.
Well, okay. I'll have it your way, but it must be a miserable place to live. This is getting some attention. Parents of well-behaved kids are rewarded with a restaurant discount. And some people are so absolutely mad about it. You know, the people who are mad about it?
The ones with bad kids.
The parents of kids who can't behave. It's complete and total fear of missing out. Or you feel guilty, like, oh yeah, my kids are terrible. We're not getting the discount. Hey, it's their restaurant. If they want to give a discount for bringing well-behaved kids into it, then that's fine. One hairdresser said, I would absolutely I would 100% give a massive discount to well-behaved children at my job. I cut hair. Oh, those stylists where the heathens have to come with the client. Ooh, Lordy, that would be awful. Must be rough.
No, I was in one.
A few.
I was in one place. It's been a while ago, but the kids started complaining, saying that I'm not paying for this haircut because you didn't do what I said, and so on. And I loved it. One of the other stylists says, "Well, guess what? You're paying for it." Like it was. And this kid was probably like 11 or 12 and was just I was like, you talk to your mom that way? Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, he does.
Yes,
he
yes.
does. Yes, he does.
But
He does.
you know who taught him to talk that way? His
Mom.
mom. Or his dad. Or both. And be prepared. Ozempic babies. Ozempic babies are a thing. Weight loss drug users experience unexpected pregnancies as the drug affects birth control. So if you do Ozempic and you rely upon it, then don't be surprised if something else isn't as effective. So maybe a sign of things to come.
Yes.
How'd you get that kid? Ozempic. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning off right with a satisfying steak, egg, and cheese bagel, or add a steak patty to your other breakfast faves. Order in the app and get 30% off a purchase of $5 or more.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Valid once per day through 6/30/24 at participating McDonald's. Excludes taxes. Must opt into rewards.
Celebrate the big horse race at the Paristown Derby Day Garden Party, presented by Woodford Reserve at Paristown on Saturday, May 4th. Wager and watch the races. Enjoy live music, cocktails, food, and more. VIP and general admission ticket options available. VIP tickets include box lunch, complimentary drinks, and private spaces. Tickets on sale now at paristown.com. Don't miss Paristown's Derby Party for the people.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying: if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too. If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon as the wind continues to ramp up. That will increase the fire danger, especially east of I-65. It will allow for a warm setup today. Highs in the low to mid-70s. Tonight, the wind will remain strong as areas of rain move in around the midnight hour. Some thunder is possible. That wind and rain will continue throughout sunrise on Tuesday. For the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Brian Good.
Did you know giraffes were originally known as camel leopards?
Did you say camo leopards?
Camel. Whoa, camel. A humpy camel.
Oh.
Okay, there's something.
Spitting camel. They thought they
Like
were a
my
combination
humps.
of camel, yes, and they thought that their pattern was like a leopard, so they were called camel leopards. I like giraffe better.
Okay, I love giraffes. I'm sorry. There's something going on funky with my camera up here.
I'm
Sorry.
glad they
I was
kept trying. You look
distracted.
fine on this
Well,
side.
yeah, I do, but yeah.
The weekend box office, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire spooked the competition. They ended up with, I think, maybe just $1 million more than the last Ghostbusters opening. Dune held on to number 2. Kung Fu Panda at 3. Immaculate at 4. Arthur the King at 5. And then Bob Marley still in the top 10, down at 10 with One Love, 1.1
I know I had
million
a
dollars.
I had a Facebook friend that commented saying that they saw the Ghostbusters movie and really, really enjoyed it. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know that like means anything, but it was the first. He's the only person I've seen that has seen it, and he enjoyed it at least. So I don't know.
I have a friend that did as well. So
Did they enjoy it?
yes,
So maybe
I have a confession.
and I usually agree with most of the things that he posts. So
I was never all sold out for Ghostbusters.
I thought you were about to say like you've never seen it or something.
I saw it. I don't know how many times I've actually seen it, the original.
You don't like the puff
And
guy?
that's my favorite.
That probably would be my favorite part too, but I don't, there's like slime and ghosts and
Bill Murray?
I don't know. There's
I like
just
the tall, skinny
something-
guy.
Something about I don't know. I mean, I like Bill Murray. I like Dan Aykroyd. I mean, but there was just something about the franchise. Like, yeah,
Annie
it just
Potts.
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Annie-
she was in the original too.
Annie Potts is a Kentuckian.
I know. I didn't say I dislike Annie Potts. I said I'm not all that sold out for Ghostbusters. So I don't care. I don't think however many of these they come up with, my guess is I'm not going to consume any of them. That's all I'm saying. Now, what I will consume is a sequel to Happy Gilmore. Get in your home, ball. Happy Gilmore 2. The script has apparently already been written. And Christopher McDonald, who played Shooter, he posted a video to social the other day showing him hitting a putt and then doing his shooter stance, his little strut that he does. So, but the question is, who takes Bob Barker's place in the Happy Gilmore sequel?
Does it have to be Drew Carey?
Yeah. Only this time Drew Carey can't win. Drew Carey needs to get his butt kicked. That'd be okay with me. So anyway, I would see.
Is it maybe Pat Sajak or something? Like I'm trying to think of.
Maybe that's almost more the equivalent these days.
I'm trying to think of the longest running, and I know he's technically on his way out, but I'd be fine with Pat Sajak getting his butt kicked. That'd be fine.
We don't watch it every evening, but we see Wheel of Fortune a couple times a week, maybe.
I thought you were going to talk about Happy Gilmore. I thought you were going to say you watch Happy Gilmore every night.
I'd be curious to know what Pat Sajak looks like without all of his TV makeup.
Yes.
It might scare the children.
It might. It might. Kate and William extremely moved by support since the Princess of Wales cancer revelation. Boy, there'd been a lot of crow having to been eaten by many, many people online after Kate came out on Friday in her video, and a little 3-minute video that explained that she was being treated for cancer, and that they some of the surgery they did back in January, they found cancer. She'd been treated with chemotherapy, etc. Then a lot of people, that background didn't move. That's real. That's fake. Let's just leave her alone, right? Let's just.
Yes.
If you were battling cancer, you wouldn't appreciate all the ugliness
nor is it anyone's business.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. And interestingly enough, I don't think I mentioned this last week, that a lot of people in Great Britain thought all along that it was the Americans who were making a huge deal out of it, and people in Great Britain were like, "Fine, just let her do whatever."
They like her,
whatever she's doing. Oh yeah, she's hugely popular.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Babylon Bee posted over the weekend. Meghan Markle announces new movie addressing how cancer diagnosis impacts her. That's Meghan Markle trying to make it about her at most every turn. Kevin Hart will receive the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
Okay.
He's funny, without a doubt.
And these events they put together are really well done too. I really enjoyed. Jon Stewart got it a couple of years ago, and he had like Steve Carell come out and talk, Colbert or John Oliver, and it was really good. On seeing all of the different impacts. Chappelle was there. On just seeing how these comedians have different connections that you don't necessarily see. Like no one remembers that Steve Carell got his start on The Daily Show.
Right. Yeah. And we were just talking about Bob Barker and Drew Carey. Mike Richards, who is a former producer of The Price is Right, has revealed what the game show does if contestants get too excited after winning the brand new car. Mike Richards said, "When I got there, they had a system in place in case someone peed their pants. I never saw it happen, but there were curtains and a blow dryer and a pair of sweats just in case, since we'd have to get on with the show."
Oh, that's funny.
Got to prepare for all eventualities,
right?
I suppose.
Yeah, Sam, you better be preparing for not having a square.
Let's hope they don't number 2 their pants.
I know, right?
Sam won't be sharing
Nope.
ATP.
Nope. It's all mine. Bring your own. Our crew
Take a
knows
break.
that. Bring your own.
Come back. Finish it up for the morning. You're on In the Know.
Sometimes what you say and what other people hear can be two very different things. Maybe you can relate to the young mother from Ohio who wanted her family to be a beacon of hope during the coronavirus lockdown. She handed chalk to her 2 boys, ages 6 and 8, and asked them to write messages on the driveway. She wanted delivery drivers and passers-by to be greeted with encouragement and good cheer. Later, when the mom checked on their progress, she discovered that her boys had covered the driveway and sidewalks with messages like, "Stay away, do not enter," and "Get lost." And that wasn't what she intended. Misunderstandings like that happen a lot in marriage, too. My wife once asked me to save money by not buying her a gift for her birthday. Not only did I not buy her a birthday gift, I didn't do anything to celebrate. And I knew how badly I had misunderstood her when she said, "Jim, when I told you not to buy me a gift, I didn't mean don't think of me at all." George Bernard Shaw once said, "The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place." And he's right. What we say and what other people hear are often two very different things. The key is to remember that whether you're the one speaking or the one listening, effective communication is a two-way street. The person speaking must clearly say what they mean. The person listening must hear not just what is said, but what is meant. For more to help you thrive, go to focusonthefamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. 4 hours of sleep isn't very much, but a 4-hour nap sure is. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
You get 4 hours of sleep and you go, I only slept 4 hours last night. You take a 4-hour nap, you wake up and you go, ooh, wow, ooh, mercy, I slept 4 hours.
I don't know if that's still a nap, right? I mean, I guess.
I mean, there are people who thought we were supposed to sleep 4 hours at a time twice a day.
I mean, that's what I know Ken will do a lot.
Yeah.
Or something
I guess it still averages out.
Similar in that realm.
Similar. Got it. Look out. You know how the kids have figured out things that were old that have gone away and they think that they're quaint or nostalgic. Apparently, there's a bunch of kids now who have figured out the Facebook poke.
Okay.
So
I don't even know if I know where the poke is.
I don't even know how to poke somebody anymore.
I don't know where it is either. But they have made it, they have brought it, Meta has brought it back to where it's a little more visible than it once was. In the same way, the people for years and years and years, people you may know was gone. And now they moved it back more front and center. And this may be Meta's way of trying to get 18 to 29-year-olds to come to Facebook, because otherwise they're not there.
What, to be able
I
to
never knew
poke
what
people?
the proper response was. Yeah, what was the...
Poke them back?
Yes. Is that so? But where does it end? Was
I don't know.
It's an
does it turn
infinite
into a slap
loop.
fight, or
It's an infinite loop of
infinite
of
poke loop?
poking.
So they have the wave, like when you connect with someone on Messenger for the first time, it throws up, do you want to wave or whatever? I mean, but it's a wave and a poke are not the same.
I'm
No,
looking.
that's true, they're not.
Right?
I'm looking right now on a profile, and I can't. I don't see how I could poke.
Just search for it. The Bachelor is on ABC tonight. It's the season 28 finale. The Voice is on NBC. NCIS and NCIS Hawaii are on CBS. Let's go to today's highlight in history. This date in 1931, the so-called Scottsboro Boys case. 9 young black men were taken off a train in Alabama, and death sentences and imprisonment were offered. The 9 were eventually vindicated. RCA announced it had begun producing color television sets this day in 1954. And for that, we thank you. Birthdays today, film critic Gene Shalit. Now, Sam, I want you to pay close attention to these lists.
No, I know you've got a pretty good one on there that I share a birthday with.
You're in great company. Gene Shalit is 98. Former astronaut Jim Lovell is 96. Paul Michael Glazer is 81. Sir Elton John is 77.
There you go. That's the big one.
Marsha Cross is 62. Sarah Jessica Parker is 59. Danica Patrick is 42. Catherine McPhee is 40. Comedian actor Chris Redd from SNL is 39 today.
Wow.
Gone but not forgotten. 1867, John Borglum, who was the sculptor of Mount Rushmore.
Impressive.
Howard
Didn't know that.
Cosell in 1918, legendary broadcaster. Hoyt Axton in 1938. Aretha Franklin in 1942.
Oh, goodness,
Sam,
Sam.
you're in
Got
some
a couple of
rare
good
air.
musicians. And I knew that, he's the former baseball player Tom Glavine.
Oh,
His
yeah,
birthday.
Tom was on my list. I skipped over him.
See, I always just knew that because he was always one of my favorite players growing up because we shared the same birthday.
I mean,
Gotcha.
to be the sculptor, wow, how cool is that?
I wish
you
I got
all-
some of his art abilities.
Did you all co-host a birthday party together? You and Tom Glavine just have your parties together? So
No, he just let me have it.
Gotcha. 1960, Percy Faith was number one. A Theme from a Summer Place. Thank you. Let's go to 1960. Traces, the Classics 4. Okay, come on. Thank you. Let's go to I'm sure while Sam was waiting to be delivered, Adele Gormley was going through number one songs from this day and probably took to heart the advice of Waylon and Willie. The strong encouragement for mamas not to let their babies grow up to be cowboys. And for that, Adele, I say congratulations. You were successful
Yes,
in
I
avoiding it.
Absolutely am not a cowboy.
Your son is not a cowboy. Now, doctors and lawyers and such, maybe we came, he's in the in such part.
Is that how we describe this industry?
Pretty much.
Sage wisdom right there. All right, let's go to 1987. Starship, number one.
Friend of KSR, too.
Oh, yeah. Mickey Thomas.
Yeah. I think of the random sequence where there was like that he was on the show.
I forgot that this song was in the movie. Was it Andrew Michael Hall? Was that? Good movie. It was a rom-com version of Weekend at Bernie's, if you recall. Celine Dion, Because You Love Me, number one in 96. Oh, by the way, sometime today, you got to see the final audition on Idol.
Can you send it to me?
Maybe, but
Okay.
get your tissue. Since You've Been Gone, Kelly Clarkson in 05, Happy, Pharrell Williams in 2014, and Miley Cyrus, Flowers a year ago today. All right. MB's Pearl, I want to make sure you get all of KSR today. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says the difference between the feasible and the possible lies in a person's determination. The difference between the feasible and the possible lies in a person's determination. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Happy birthday, Sam.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy
Enjoy.
birthday.
Thank you.
Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on.